Okay?
Thank you, Karina. I wanted to see if you could just elaborate on how the president is taking in some of the scenes from college campuses around the country. He doesn't have any public events on his schedule today. Is he watching some of the coverage? What's his reaction?
Oh, no. Here we go again. Here we go again.
Well, I can tell you the president is, like he does every day, is having meetings with his senior advisors, with his team here on an array of issues.
This is not true. This is not true at all.
I just mentioned that he's going to have conversations with leaders in the Middle East region to talk about this hostage deal, to make sure that we get this done, get Americans home, hostages home more broadly, and make sure we get to a ceasefire.
Really?
That is something that is incredibly important that Americans want to see. As you're talking about the protesters, they want to see this war end, and that's what the president wants to see, get to a ceasefire. And so he's focused on that. That's his focus.
That's a damn lie.
I can't speak to him catching any of what's happening on TV, but I can speak to the importance of the meetings that he's having and these two head of state calls that he's going to have this afternoon.
Last week, House Speaker Mike Johnson visited Colombia and said that after that visit, he was going to be calling President Biden to discuss potential response, even the potential for a role for the National Guard. Did that conversation happen? And has the
And here we go.
I mean, look, I would refer you to the speaker. I don't have a call to speak to. As it relates to the National Guard, I've been asked this question.
Did that call happen?
I don't have a call to speak to.
What? Why? Why?
What I can say is that as it relates to the National Guard, that is something that is under the jurisdiction of governors. And I know if it wasn't last week, I believe it was last week actually, Governor Hochul spoke to that as it relates specifically to what's happening in New York. And so I would refer you to her office. But National Guards, that's not under our jurisdiction, that's under governors.
Okay.
Hi. Thank you.
Hello.
Two foreign questions and then one quick domestic one. Does the White House see any forward progress with the latest hostage deal that Secretary Blinken described as extraordinarily generous on the part of Israel?
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
So a couple of things. As you know, we put out a readout yesterday that the president, the call that the president had with Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu.
Well, no fucking shit.
And the significant focus of that call was obviously on securing the release of all hostages and paving the way to a prolonged ceasefire that would provide relief to the people of Gaza.
Really?
In recent days, there has been new progress in talks, and currently the onus is indeed on Hamas. There is a deal on the table, and they need to take it. We believe that all efforts need to be brought to bear to convince Hamas to accept the proposal immediately.
Is that right?
And so to that end, just a little information for all of you, this afternoon, the president will speak with the Emir of Qatar and President of Egypt.
The question is, who cares?
Secretary Blinken, as just you noted in your question, is in the region right now to carry out the same message that I just laid out to you. This has been a sustained effort, and the United States is not alone in this effort.
Oh, really?
You saw our joint statement, the joint statement last week with the 17 other world leaders demanding that Hamas release our citizens without delay. And so we're going to continue to have those conversations. It is a priority. It is a priority to get those hostages home.
Okay.
It is a priority to get to a ceasefire, and is obviously a priority to get that all-important humanitarian aid into Gaza.
Would the U.S. or the White House see any potential arrests by the ICC as an aggravating factor in the negotiations?
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
So we've been really clear about the ICC investigation. We do not support it. We don't believe that they have the jurisdiction, and I'm just going to leave it there for now.
Why?
On U.S. and Mexico, the joint statement from President Biden and Lopez Obrador today talked about agreeing to implement immediately concrete measures to significantly reduce irregular border crossings.
That's right.
Have those concrete measures already been agreed to, and can you give any detail on what they are?
Yep.
It's about to go back.
As you just mentioned, the president and the president of Mexico, our president and the president of Mexico spoke yesterday. There was a joint statement that we put out. I'm going to be really careful here. I'm not going to get ahead of what was laid out in the statement.
What? Oh, come on, man.
But this is, I would say, this is a continued commitment to strengthening the bilateral relationship that we have and the regional cooperation.
What?
And let's not forget that regional cooperation will benefit us here in the United States, but also the people of Mexico. So I'm not going to go beyond the readout, that joint statement that came out. Okay.
Two topics, if I can. First, right before we came out here, there were reports of a shooting in Charlotte, North Carolina, involving law enforcement officials. Were you guys aware of that?
Check this out.
No, that's actually the first time I'm hearing about that. Obviously, I want to be really mindful since I don't have all the information. We'll certainly look into that and see what's going on there.
Well, duh.
You know, police officer, law enforcement officers put their lives at risk every day, and so, you know, that is, if that is indeed true, it is very sad news. And we also know gun violence is an epidemic in this country. That's why the president's doing everything that he can to make sure that we deal with this epidemic.
Okay.
And by, as you know, signing 24 executive orders, starting an anti-gun violence White House office, the first ever, and passing the bipartisan legislation to deal with this. We need to do more. We need to do a lot more, and we're going to continue to ask Congress to do so.
Okay.
And finally, one more, Karina, as a dog lover yourself.
Oh gosh.
What does the president and the White House think about Kristi Noem's upcoming book?
Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
Saw that. It's very sad. It's very sad. It's a sad story. That's all I have for you. It's sad. Go ahead.
Thanks, Karina. More broadly, is the White House concerned about safety issues at university graduations this year?
Oh, here we go.
I'll say this, and I kind of said this at the top. Commencement day for college kids is such an important day. You all know that.
No, I don't think so.
I'm sure you all have experienced how important it is that day, not just for you or for them in this case, but for parents and loved ones who are here to celebrate.
No.